Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Egelhoff, the Man Entrepreneur Magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small towns. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Egelhoff's favorite son, Tom Egelhoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to kmmsam.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's Saturday, September 3rd, 2016, 25 minutes before the top of the hour, 58 degrees outside. I want to welcome you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. Each week, I share some tips and tricks I've learned over the years about advertising, marketing, promotion, and building strong, successful businesses. And I do these Open for Business podcasts live every Saturday between 11:30 and noon Mountain Time from the studios of AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman and 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana, and of course we stream worldwide on the net at kmmsam.com. If you missed any of the previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll never miss another weekly podcast. You'll also find my podcast on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. Go about halfway down the homepage on the left side and you'll find a link to the podcast page and YouTube page so you can catch up on any of my podcasts that you might have missed. Today's topic, I want to talk about who's your real competition. The answer might surprise you. You know, our competitors, we hate them. They're the primary reason your business isn't doing better, right? They cut prices, they steal customers, they say terrible things about you and your business. They keep you up at night, they cause stress in your life, and they lie in their advertising. So you blame every business failure and setback on them, but are they the real cause of your problems? So who are your real competitors? My inspiration for this podcast was a recent conversation I had with a local business owner. I was asking him about the fiercely competitive nature of his business and how he handled it. He said, "My toughest competitor is time and materials. Those two things affect my business more than any competitor." And I'd never really thought about internal forces as a competitor. As he continued his explanation, I could see that it made perfect sense. Internal forces within a business can be just as harmful as a strong outside competitor. For example, poor customer service drives your customers to your competition. So now I have a new definition of the term competitor, and so should you. My new definition of a competitor is any entity that causes a reduction in profits or negatively affects the reputation of the company. Under this new definition, who's your real competitor? It just might be you. So where should you concentrate your efforts? With this new definition in mind, you must look at your business from a whole new perspective. And there's a real positive in this new definition. You have a fair amount of control over what happens inside your company. You have very little control, if any, over what your competitors do. So concentrate your initial efforts within the confines of your company. The improved policies you implement within your company can often overcome anything an outside competitor can throw at you. So the first place to start is with your customers. Most of us can't define good customer service, but we know it when we get it. And we definitely know it when we don't get it. So countless reams of paper have been used to document the benefits of good customer service. I've yet to talk to a business owner who didn't think their business delivered anything less than excellent customer service. Now here are two observations of customer service, or lack of it, from businesses that I frequent. I use the drive-up facilities of two banks here in Bozeman, Montana. At one bank, no matter which teller I get, they always call me by name, regardless of the size of the transaction. At the other bank, no matter which teller I get, they never call me by name, regardless of the size of the transaction. Try and guess which bank makes me feel better after the transaction. And here's one of my real pet peeves, grocery stores. I hate to issue an across-the-board condemnation of one segment of business, but this has happened everywhere I've ever lived. Now, like most of you, I spend what I feel is a fair amount of hard-earned money at the grocery store. When it's my turn, the checker always says, "Hello, how are you today? Did you find everything you were looking for?" or some other similar greeting. And that's great. That's what they're supposed to do. However, once they've finished scanning my selections and given me the total, For all intents and purposes, their job is done. I suddenly become a non-entity. While I'm filling out my check or swiping my credit card, they totally ignore me and start talking to the bag person or the next cashier or any other employee within earshot about their weekend or someone's party or anything else that's going on in their life. I feel like I should wait for them to finish rather than interrupt them to do actual business with the store. The time for idle, I'll get it in a minute. The time for idle chit-chat with others is when there are no other customers in line. Show me any other business where this activity would be tolerated. Every customer should always receive undivided attention throughout the entire transaction, regardless of the industry. Rarely do they call me by name, even though they have a check with my name on it. A simple thing like calling people by name as soon as you know it should be a mandatory activity for every business. And there are other internal competitors of your business. I talk with a number of business owners each month, and I see the good, the bad, and the really ugly. And I try to look at each business as a customer would. So here are some of the things that I look for. Successful businesses aren't always neat, but they're usually clean, particularly the areas that customers see. The employees usually dress better than the customers. That doesn't mean coats and ties, but they take pride in their work and show it in a clean, professional appearance. Business cards, stationery, brochures, invoices all project a positive business image. They don't have to be printed on expensive paper, but they're professional in design and information. They answer the phone in a professional manner. Everyone who answers the phone should be qualified and trained to answer whatever questions the caller may have. No one likes to call and repeat the question over and over again as they go from one person to the next looking for the answer to their question. And according to Murphy's Law, customers with complaints will always show up when management has gone to lunch or out of the business for some reason. So all employees, from the clerk to the janitor, should be empowered to resolve customer complaints without management intervention. Every business spends time evaluating their competition. In addition to your external competitors, make it a daily practice to look at your internal competitors. Keep in mind the goal of external competitors is to attract your customers to their business. However, the end result of internal competition is driving your customers away from your business. The less control you have over your internal competitors, the more your external competitors like it. Start being competitive internally and make your external competition lose sleep for a change. And that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you'll find them on my website at smalltownmarketing.com, smalltownmarketing.com. Go about halfway down the whole page on the left side, and you'll find a link to the podcast page so you can catch up on any of my podcasts that you might have missed. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together.